So, yes, it is October, and that means I like to keep a lot of Halloween themes going around my monthly segments, but we're not going to be talking about the typical monsters and ghosts and whatnot today, but we are going to be talking about a horrific moment in American financial history. It was in October of 1987 that we suffered from Black Monday, which was a day where the American Stock Exchange lost millions upon millions of dollars. And to this day, we don't know what triggered it. Thank goodness we've seen better times, and unfortunately sometimes a little bit worse. But that was a day that will truly live in infamy in American history. And we're going to be talking about a movie that was one of the very first fan favorites of the 21st century, and that of course is also a film that will be celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. It is the film Boiler Room, starring the big name at the time, which was Ben Affleck, but it also included a bunch of young actors who were unknown and now very much well-known. We had Tom Everett Scott, Nicky Katt, Giovanni Ribisi, Neil Long, Jamie Kennedy, even though he was very much popular at the time thanks to Scream and his MTV show, The Jamie Kennedy Experiment, but also we had a young unknown who is now one of the biggest names in action films, and that of course is Vin Diesel. So this film did come out in theaters, and it pretty much went under people's radars. People who did go to see it pretty much knew because that Ben Affleck was in it, it was something that they'd be interested in, but as this movie got to home video, it really developed a big cult following, and to this day I know so many people, including myself, who truly do love this film. It is actually based on the true story that we now have on film, thanks to Martin Scorsese's film, The Wolf of Wall Street. But this is a movie that is not based on Jordan Belfort. This is actually a fictional version of the story told from a young man being brought into the firm named J.T. Marlin to become a stockbroker. And he is a young man who is still looking for a direction. He doesn't think that school is the answer, and he, in the meantime, is actually running an illegal casino out of his apartment instead of going to school, but he's making a lot of money doing this. So this young man, played by Giovanni Ribisi, Seth Davis, visited by his friend Adam and another guy named Greg, and they both believe that he has the potential to join their firm and basically make a lot of money. And he does go to this firm. He's also had a little bit of a rocky relationship with his father, and he gets himself a real job, and he's very good at what he does, but he still has a lot of questions, and through his investigating, he realizes that J.T. Marlin is not necessarily a good, honest financial firm, and now he's realized that he's based his life on a fraudulent lie. So, if you have seen Wolf of Wall Street, I highly recommend that you see Boiler Room. It is a shorter version of the story, fictionally of course. It is a very fast-paced, very enjoyable film. There's also a lot of great moments and a lot of great lines, especially the scenes that Ben Affleck is in. He's actually not even a main character in this film. He's only got like 4 scenes in the entire film. But when he's on screen, boy, does Ben Affleck make him count. The best part of this film, without a doubt, is Vin Diesel. I love him as Chris. He is such a powerful character. I love how he just lights up when he's on the phones, talking to clients, trying to pitch them stocks. He is just delivering on all accounts. Giovanni Ribisi has done a lot of other movies since Boiler Room, but I really feel that this was the best film that he's been in, especially considering the fact that he is the main character. He's a supporting character in a lot of his other work, but here he is the main focus, and I really think he did a great job as the main character, Seth. Everybody else in this film is just dynamic, they're fun to watch, it's an enjoyable film, and again, the best part about this film, especially when you compare it to The Wolf of Wall Street, it's just not as lengthy. There's very few stale, boring, slow-moving moments in this film, and I think that that is great. I also think that one of the best parts about this movie is when these guys are in somebody's house watching Wall Street and literally quoting Michael Douglas's lines. If you have not seen Boiler Room, you really should. I really do like it, and after all this time, I have seen this movie, I don't even know how many times I've watched this movie. It's a proud piece of my collection. I love this movie to death. I do like The Wolf of Wall Street, though. I will not lie, but I like Boiler Room a whole lot better. And I seriously feel that if you haven't seen it yet, and you compare it to The Wolf of Wall Street, I think you might seriously consider coming to my side and say, yeah, I agree with you. Because I think one of the interesting things is, I once did a collaboration with my friend Brian Lomax on his channel. He does my DC animated live shows with me, and we did a show talking about all of Ben Affleck's performances. And then when we got to Boiler Room, he basically wanted to know if I saw it, because he never did, and I just gushed about how great this movie was, how much I loved it, and how, even though Ben Affleck doesn't have a big role in it, he still does a great job. And just earlier this week, I saw my friend Jack, who also was on one of my Sunday sit-downs. He was very curious about Boiler Room, and I talked to him about it, and now he's got it on his list of movies to see. So I think that even after all this time, this movie still needs to be marketed via word of mouth, because very few people are seeing this movie, and they really should. Again, it's a good movie. I love it, and also it's got a really cool soundtrack by Angel. It really is a very interesting film, and also, for me personally, I also thought that it was a great movie because it really encompasses all the greatness of New York. The New York background is always there, and you just really get entranced by what you see. Also, I think that this was one of the last few films that actually did show the original World Trade Center Twin Towers, unfortunately, before September 11th. So, again, Boiler Room is a great movie, guys. I highly recommend it. I also think that if you are Vin Diesel fans, you're gonna love him in this movie. You really, really will. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Those are my thoughts on Boiler Room. Please put your comments in the box below and let's discuss it. And if you haven't seen it, and I might in fact have sold you on it today, please reach out to me and let me know what you thought about it, because it really is that good of a movie. I personally think so. So I'll see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.